I'm still a little loud when I'm talking.
Yeah, but I rather have it that way than the other way around.
Either way.
I think that is it.
Yeah.
For now. We will see where this whole thing leads with the headphones. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Surrounded by Details podcast with me, Stevo. I am your host, and as far as I know, most likely always will be, unless there's a substitute somewhere hiding, coming out of nowhere, and then...
some kind of mutiny.
Yeah, maybe I need a water break, and nobody really knows. And I am sitting at the Dreamcatcher Hostel Bar and Cafe here on this lovely Sunday evening in Bangkok. And as you know, the Dreamcatcher where we're sitting right now is our main sponsor and support. And we are happy to be back here and sharing a couple of beers with Justin Bratton today. Welcome to the podcast.
Good to be here. Thank you for having me, Stevo.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Cheers.
My pleasure.
What are you drinking? We discussed that already. We think it's a Belgian beer.
Alemán. Alemán is German in Spanish.
Yeah?
So
no, isn't that Allemagne with a G?
Is it Alemania?
I'm not quite sure.
No, it's just Alemán is I don't know. It should say on the back of this beer where it's from, and yet it does not.
And also, this topic gives me a very good reason to do a special shout-out, not only to our sponsor here at the Dreamcatcher, also to Derek Uswa, the guy who owns the whole place, who is normally here to help us out with these kind of questions, to tell us what this beer is and where it comes from. And now my headphones are cutting out. Just a second, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening regularly, you are used to that. There we go. Here I am, back again.
We're back.
And yeah, he's unfortunately not here at the moment. But we keep on going anyway. And before I forget, because we've been talking for half an hour already, off mic, Indigo Float Center from Phuket, also a lovely supporter and sponsor of this podcast. If you are in Phuket, if you want to get your float on, your sensory deprivation tank, then do yourself a favor and go to Shalong and visit the guys of Indigo Float Center. And yes, all struggle and sponsors aside, Justin Bratton is here. For the entire last couple of days where I have been dealing with this episode, you know, preparing the live stream and all kinds of stuff, I've always wanted to say Jason. I don't know why.
That happens a lot.
Yeah?
I don't know why.
Why do you think is that?
People don't like the T.
Yeah?
I'm not sure.
Are you
It's always the people that are American seem to have an issue with Justin for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why that is.
I was not sure if I tell you that straight off the beginning on this podcast or if I wait a little bit, but in Germany, Justin is a name that doesn't really help you in your career.
Why is that?
Because in Germany, Justin, you know, we like old school German names like Olaf or Klaus or Peter, something like that. And Justin was one of these first new English names that came over to Germany. And people from East Germany started to call their kids Justin because they thought it was hip to name their kids an English name. And since there's always this thing going on between East Germany and West Germany.
West Germany was like, no.
West Germany was like, no, that's a poor joke, man.
I can think of a few German names that people don't like to name their children as well.
Well, I wouldn't like to name my kid Klaus. Klaus is probably the worst name a kid
it's
could.
a pretty bad name.
Yeah. Do you know what your parents would have called you if you were a girl?
Oh, I had no idea. That is a very good question.
Yeah.
Actually, I originally had a girl's name. My birth certificate. So I was born on the border of Mexico.
Yeah.
And so it was a very much a Spanish-speaking staff. And so in Mexico, when you spell Justin, Mexicans tend to just add an E at the end. So on my original birth certificate, it says Justine. So I was named Justine for about half a year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
My parents almost did the same mistake. They called me Steph instead of Steve. So there is no E at the end of my name. So my passport says Steph, and I don't like to be called Steph. So at some point, classmates gave me the nickname Stevo. So I got a good way out of it.
But your name is still Stev.
Yeah,
officially.
In my passport, but nobody calls me Steph anymore.
Right.
So it took me like 12 years, 13 years of work to make this happen. So I'm very happy with my name. As it is, you never know what kind of nicknames you get. You know, when you're out...
I've had many.
out with your people, having a good time, having a couple of beers. You might do something stupid, and then before you know it, you have a stupid nickname. But we get ahead of ourselves talking about weird stuff. Justin, I met you in Myanmar about a week and a half ago.
Yeah, not long ago.
And you were the host for the WLC4, the World Lethwei Championship. Lethwei is traditional martial arts in Myanmar, and it is the most brutal mixed martial arts in the world.
Boy, is it ever.
Huh?
Boy, is it ever.
Oh yes, they can keep on going like there is no tomorrow. There's something special about Lethwei fighters. It's a little bit extra of heart.
They're
I don't
hardcore.
know. Yeah.
Something might be wrong with them. I'm not sure, but they do not mess around.
Well, depends on how many fights you had. I think after a while, there's definitely something wrong with you. If you have, man, if you imagine you get headbutts, you get feet towards your head, fists, all punches.
My mind was blown. Like I had done some Googling prior,
yeah,
I had never seen it before, and I watched a couple YouTube videos. But then when watching it live, I was just in awe of what these guys were capable of, the punishment that they were capable of taking,
yeah,
and then also inflicting.
So how much Google work did you do before? Because your original background, as far as I know,
5 minutes,
is from a completely different direction. Mm-hmm. So you are the TV host. I should mention that so people actually know who you are. Yeah. Know that already. You are TV host of Asia Got Talent.
Correct. Asia's Got Talent. Myself and my co-host Alan Wong.
Alan Wong, and you're based in Singapore, correct?
Based in Singapore, but spend a lot of time here in Bangkok as well.
And you are originally from?
Originally from Dallas, Texas.
Dallas, Texas. So you like the Dallas Cowboys?
I do.
Yeah. Are you a football guy?
Then I am for the Cowboys. I'll watch the Cowboys.
Well, for me, I never really got into American football. I kind of follow it. I watched the Super Bowl, but nothing more with that. And it's actually more dangerous to play football than fight. Did you know that?
I've heard that before, because the padding actually allows people to inflict more damage on each other.
And
they're moving at higher velocities.
And they run straight into each other.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy if you really think about it. But from Asia Got Talent, where people do all kinds of stuff, from singing to juggling to what I've seen some crazy stuff on the German version of it. How did you make the connection to fighting? How did that happen?
I mean, I didn't make that connection, to be honest. Somebody made
how did it happen?
Somebody made that connection for me. I got an email from one of the organizers who was a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
And they were looking for somebody that could speak English to announce the first internationally broadcasted Lethwei Championship. And my friend recommended me because I'm part Burmese. My mother was born in Myanmar. So that was, I think, kind of one of the main reasons I thought that I would be a good fit to go to Myanmar and then announce for the Lethwei.
That's interesting. I would have never guessed that there is a little Burmese in you.
It's Caucasians can't tell.
How did that happen?
Asians can usually tell I'm part Asian.
Yeah.
White people don't see it.
Do you speak any Burmese?
I do not.
Not anything?
No. My mother didn't really speak it growing up. She moved away from Myanmar when she was 5 years old.
Okay.
And then my grandparents were both raised in Catholic orphanages. And that were British run. So their first language was actually English. They both spoke Burmese. But then when they moved to Texas, they were speaking English and Spanish, and the Burmese kind of, I think, was reserved for when they were just angry at each other and yelling at one another. That was the only time I ever heard it.
So you already, as a kid, traveled back to Myanmar, or when did you have your first visit back in Myanmar?
No, first time I went was in 2006.
How old are you?
37.
37?
37? Or am I 36?
Damn.
You know you're getting old when you forget how old you are.
That is a very good call, actually. I always say I have my passport for that reason, so I can remember my name and I can remember my birth date, because I don't celebrate my birthday anymore. I stopped doing that when I was like 15, 16.
Yeah, I still do. I should stop. I think that's what's been aging me, those birthday celebrations.
Man. That's way too much work. I mean, get hyped up like a month before, and now it's only 30 days left. And then once you start thinking about it, it gets worse, because then it's 29 days left and 28 days left. Like with Christmas when we were a kid, like 6 years.
I don't need more reasons to celebrate. I keep celebrating random things all the time. I feel like I'm celebrating something right now.
Yeah, in Sweden we have this little thing called Little Wednesday. It's basically a little Saturday. You drink, but you don't drink as much as you do on a Saturday. So that's the day where we can celebrate midweek, like is a Wednesday. Otherwise,
Hump day.
Huh?
Hump day.
Hump day. What is that?
In the States, you call it hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
You see,
so you go and you enjoy a good happy hour for hump day.
Hump day and happy hour sounds suspicious.
Yeah, they go hand in hand.
This is exactly what I talked about before we started the podcast. Sometimes I have no idea what people talk about.
Know hump day?
Because I'm a hashtag not a native English speaker.
No, but I mean, even like Singaporeans know hump day. I feel like Thai people know hump day.
Yeah, you see, it's I don't hang out in Singapore too much actually. Yeah. But you lived in Bangkok before.
I was based here for 8 years.
And what made you move to Singapore? That's quite a big move.
I moved to Singapore because I wanted to do more TV hosting. I was doing back then I was doing a lot of commercial modeling here in Bangkok. Bangkok's an international hub for commercial modeling. Okay. And I was also doing a lot of acting. There's a really amazing indie film scene here in Bangkok, which I was fortunate enough to become a part of. But hard to make money acting.
Tell me about it, freelance life.
But TV hosting pays a bit better, so I started to get into that and moved to Singapore because Singapore is a regional hub for international broadcasts.
So
TV shows.
What channel is Asia's Got Talent on?
Asia's Got Talent is on AXN.
And you also did some work for Discovery Channel?
I did a show that was aired on Discovery Channel called Bespoke. It was by a production company called Moving Visuals out of Singapore, and then aired on Channel 5 in Singapore, and then aired on a channel called Octo, and then aired on Discovery after that.
So doing so many things, what of these things do you prefer? What is your favorite thing? Is it hosting? Is it modeling? Or even you told me before you did some stand-up comedy.
I mean, they're all very different, and I enjoy all of them, to be honest. I mean, that sounds like a silly cliche thing to say.
Yeah, that sounds like a cheap answer.
It's a far too diplomatic response, but they're all very different. TV hosting, I get to be myself. Sometimes I am a.
Can you really?
Sometimes I am a characterization of myself, or a more amplified version of myself. But I'm in a sense myself while I'm TV hosting, which is nice. And I like that kind of creativity where it's improvisational, when it's to the camera and to an audience. I enjoy that. And then acting is quite different for me anyway. You become somebody else in a fictitious scenario, something that's not really happening.
But sorry to interrupt you, but modeling is some sort of acting too, right? Because you have to take all, if you think about.
Don't get me wrong. There is a talent to modeling. There are talented models. There are models that are good at what they do. I'm not saying that models.
You're good at looking good.
I'm not saying models are the hardest workers in the world.
You have the best skill ever.
This isn't my first interview. No, I mean, there's a skill to modeling. There's a skill to fashion modeling. There's a skill to editorial modeling, lifestyle modeling, commercial modeling. They're all very different. Commercial modeling, it is more acting because obviously it's for TV commercials.
Yeah,
and you've got to. Sometimes you have to time out certain reactions within like seconds because the commercials are very short. And the director has a vision, and it's not terribly easy. I mean, there's a lot of it.
Oh, it is tough.
There's a lot of people that can't do it, and they will not get commercial jobs.
In commercial, I believe Scott Duncan said that once, one of my favorite photographers and cinematographers. In commercial, you have to make every second count because you try to influence the person that is watching the commercial to do something that they didn't really want it to do and that they might not even thought of before they saw that commercial. So you have this very short time frame. How is your, talking about hashtag tough freelance life, how is your moral level when it comes to certain advertisements? Because for me as a photographer, I have a certain pride in being an artist, which you are as a model and TV host and actor.
My moral level back when I was modeling was pretty much non-existent.
Yeah.
Looking to get paid. I mean,
I know what you're talking about.
I mean, most models don't make that much money, right? Your average model is quite poor. Most fashion models, editorial models are very poor. They're living off of the stipends that they get from modeling agencies. Commercial models, on average, actually make much more money. So commercial models are obviously less famous in pop culture, but they're the ones that are actually making the big paychecks.
Yeah, because
TV
they're getting
commercials.
the big brands to put behind the money to show it properly. I mean, there's a lot of money going into advertisement with a lot of now Instagram followers and Instagram business, which is
totally changed the modeling game. Modeling now, it's even harder to make money modeling because more of those, a lot of that marketing and advertising budget is now being, spread out across all of these different mediums, such as Instagram or different social media influencers, or there's all these other ways now from just a photo shoot or a TV commercial that people can advertise their brand.
I agree, and it's the same for photography a little bit, because so many people realize, oh, I have a camera now and I can adapt those filters and I can do these things. So a lot of people that normally are not your I don't want to say enemy, your competitor in business, which you normally wouldn't have, now are there. So it's people discovering, oh, I look good on a photo if I take it from an upper angle. I'm going to make that a living.
Yeah.
Once again, your skill is to look good.
Yeah, I mean, social media has changed the game. I mean, even for TV hosting now, right? Like, I mean, TV hosting in the, what it has been the traditional sense is very much changing. Like, it's not about getting TV shows. Now it's about creating your own content for YouTube or, or doing like really short type content for like Instagram stories and all that kind of stuff. So
it is easy nowadays to actually make a living.
Easy
if you think about it, if you really think about it, like back in the days, you had to go to a coal mine, get into the fucking cave for millennia, and then come out and have $20 in your pocket. Nowadays, you can do a video. If you're a little bit lucky, it makes more than $20. So it seems to have created this whole culture of I'm gonna be a YouTube star. Now you're not a TV star anymore, or not just a TV star. Now you have different things. You have a Instagram star. You have a Facebook star. It's crazy where the world has gone with social media. But something that you have to live with, obviously, because
I do. I have a love-hate relationship with social media. I mean, I'm not one of these 22-year-olds that are just like obsessed with it. I do it for work. I mean, I do enjoy the aspect of it where I can connect directly to my audience and fans, which is nice. I mean, that it creates a more intimate relationship. Whereas I mean, before Instagram and Facebook, like, you couldn't really do that,
So let me bring this to you. I've mentioned that to Olivier Kost, the referee of one championship, because as a referee, you get a lot of hate mails. So I suggested to him to, instead of get a fan page on Facebook, you get a hate page on Facebook.
Which is far more entertaining.
Would that make any sense to you? How much hate mail do you get from a scale 1 to 10?
Well, let me tell you.
Hear me out, because before you start, hear me out, because my thought behind this is, when you are the TV host of Asia Got Talent, there's obviously a lot of people on there that try to make something happen in their life or with what they do. Now, with these people, I would like to call them average people, and please don't hate on me, it's just a better lack of word. But with these average kind of people comes also a lot of friends, a lot of family that don't really see the truth. When I watch like Germany Got Talent or America Got Talent or Asia Got Talent, there's always in the beginning this part where you say, have you not looked in the mirror and sang to yourself and heard what came out of your mouth? You are not supposed to be here. And then you say something that might not fit the audience or the friends, and they hate on you.
No, I mean, to be honest, most of this, we keep the show light.
Yeah.
So there's not much negativity coming out of myself and my co-hosts. All the negativity.
You suck.
Negativity comes out from the judges.
Yeah.
So fortunately, I don't have to pass any kind of judgment on the quality level of people's performance. People don't need you to say something negative to hate on you on social media. They can find plenty of other reasons. When Alan and I when it was announced that we were going to host this season, there's quite a bit of negativity coming from the lovely country of the Philippines, because the previous host of the show
was Filipino.
Were based out of the Philippines.
Drama.
Based in the Philippines. Filipinos, amazing people. They're very prideful in their country, and so I get that. And so their knee-jerk reaction was, what?
That's not our guy.
And those are our boys. Who the hell are these two clowns? They'd heard it from, I think a lot of people had known Alan and I before from Alan used to host Stream TV, and I was doing stuff for Channel News Asia and other shows. So people had known us, but they were like, nah, they're not from here. We don't want them hosting Asia's Got Talent. So there was a lot of there was quite a few negative
do you read
on social media.
Do you read all your comments that you get?
No,
because
you cannot do that.
Yeah, that's dangerous, right?
Well, first of all, there's too many. You know, unfortunately, I have things to do.
Yeah,
but
I have a life.
You know, I like to at least try and read some stuff that people send or comment on things just on occasion. For the most part, especially at this juncture, since the season is over, I think our fans in the Philippines warmed up to Alan and I. And
yeah, they start to get familiar.
Or they just gave up and realized there's nothing they can do to change this. And so
yeah, we gotta watch out once
they accepted us. And we've been getting a lot of love from our Filipino fans now, and from everybody across Asia and the Middle East. But prior, yeah, man. There was a lot of negativity. There was people who were coming down on me and Alan for our voice tones.
Your pitch is too high.
Saying we weren't as good looking as the previous host, which we're probably not.
That is always in the perspective of the person who looks at it.
Yeah, that's subjective.
Well, I can imagine once you pay attention to hate mails, you get just caught up.
And you know what? And you tell yourself, I don't care what these people think. I don't care. But if you read enough negative comments about you, even though you know it's just from people that don't even care, they're not people that are just kind of bored or whatever. It's a little bit. There's a little sort of.
I hear you. It's so easy to hate yourself already without all those hate comments.
Do I have an annoying voice tone? Question mark.
And then you walk through the day all day like me, sound different, mama, no.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if
people are like. You guys have great chemistry. Where's the sex tape? And I'm like, is there a sex tape?
You can go on the YouTube. Well, it depends. It depends. In certain situations, a sex tape can make you famous.
Not in Asia.
Not in Asia?
No.
Why not?
I'm pretty sure you were just... Your career's dead if you end up with a sex tape out here.
Yeah, that's true actually.
That's kind of what's happened.
Yeah, but don't forget now I mess it up.
I do not have a sex tape, by the way.
Well, we will find out by the end.
Qualify that right now.
We will find out by the end of this podcast because everybody has a skeleton. I
have a couple holding hand tapes.
What?
Holding hand tapes.
Holding hand tapes.
That's as far as it goes.
With some of your fans from.
Holding hands. Fans?
With some of your fans, would you ever blind date a fan?
Blind date a fan?
Yeah. I got him speechless.
It's a very good question. I mean, obviously, that sounds like a bad idea. And I recognize that. With that being said, I mean, you tend to meet very interesting people at certain events.
Agree.
People that probably know you from TV or from the internet.
You meet all kinds of people.
I don't know. I mean, an obsessed fan is a bad idea.
That's what I wonder because that is what we do here.
Maybe somebody that's. What are we doing here?
No, sorry to interrupt you. Bad habit, but that's what we do here on the podcast. We go into the weird questions.
Yeah.
What would you do if you have like a really creepy fan that's like really like a stalker? I mean, how would you handle that? Would you be the Serena Williams and lock yourself up in your safety room at home, or would you welcome it and enjoy your fans?
I mean, I tend to not have that many creepy fans, to be honest.
Maybe you just don't know about it.
That's very possible.
Because you broadcast over such a wide region.
There's a few comments.
Yeah.
So you get some weird comments on social media. But as far as like when I run into people in like Bangkok or Singapore or Malaysia, everybody's very cool. Like very awesome. Like, you know, good to meet you. Maybe do a selfie. It's nothing creepy.
So what's the treatment, the average treatment that you get when you come to a show? Because as a photographer, sometimes when we have a client in the heavy event, we get they pay our flights and we get a hotel room and it's really nice and they welcome you and they say shortly hello and they give you short introductions. But then people never talk to you anymore because they're busy with your stuff. But then you always see this one famous athlete or this one famous host that always get this special treatment. Are you one of those people?
Man, I want to be.
Do you get peanuts backstage? That is what I'm asking.
I would love to be that person. Yeah, I'm not sure it's happening yet. Peanuts is about all we get.
But what is your goal as a TV host? I mean, what is the perfect scenario? What do you want to accomplish as a? Do you want to host the Olympics or I don't know, man. It's a different culture.
Honestly, I've been in a very fortunate situation this past year It's hard to host. It's hard to host a bigger TV show than Asia's Got Talent for being based in Asia. So this is the show to do. I mean, I would, as far as TV hosting goes, this is going to be hard to beat. I would like to do more. I'd like to do more travel shows. I would like to I would like to produce more of my own shows to do, whether they be for TV broadcast or for online content. And I think that's going to be happening very soon. But as far as TV hosting goes, this show is pretty fun.
Yeah,
Asia's Got Talent's a lot of fun.
It sounds like fun.
It's an international team. A lot of the teams from all around the world, from London, from...
Where are the studios at? Where do you record this stuff?
So last season, we shot half the season in Johor Bahru.
Where's that?
Johor Bahru is on the border of Malaysia and Singapore, in Malaysia. Pinewood Studios, big film studios there. So it's an amazing place to shoot. The Malaysian crowd was phenomenal.
They're always good, yeah.
Malaysian people know how to throw down for an event. They go nuts. They're great. And then we had the finals, and the finals results show was at Marina Bay Sands in Singapore. I actually don't know where the next season's going to be shot. I don't know if that's even been decided, to be honest.
Random question, but how does it work? Because it's called Asia Got Talent, so you get all, and Asia is quite big. Do they fly in all the people that do a tape and send it in, or how does it work?
Yeah, no. I mean, what they do is they do. There's obviously kind of like tryouts, castings, which they'll do in different cities. They'll do one in Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Bangkok, Taipei, Manila, Jakarta, and then they'll also take video entries from like Japan, Korea, China, Mongolia, and that's kind of, they just kind of sift through all of these entries and decide who's gonna make the cut.
And how does your recording process look like? I mean, do you go there for a week and then record everything at once, or do you get different dates and then you have to travel in and out?
Yeah, it's different dates. It's a little spread out on occasion. We have it timed out so there's enough time to edit the show during the judges picks. When the judges auditions, which is the first 5 episodes, and then into the semifinals. And the last 2 episodes are straight up live.
What obviously a little bit more difficult to do things live, because if things go wrong, they do go wrong.
We kind of shoot the show as live anyway. So by the time we're doing the live episodes, it's not necessarily a big deal. I mean, there's that hint of urgency that's just there in the room with the production, because everybody knows it's live. The producers are like, it's live. The contestants know it's live.
Yeah. How easy is it to organize those? Because I know with the fighters, I run around a lot on the events, both where the action happens and around the cage or octagon and behind. And sometimes it's very difficult. I think when you do events, there's one thing you can say for certain, and that is that you will always have this one floor manager that is freaking out about everything at once. You got 30 seconds, then we're going to do this. And then you got 28 seconds until we do this.
You usually do. Usually that's the case. Asia's Got Talent, the crew this last season was phenomenal. Everybody was just so good.
Yeah.
Dream crew.
That's a pretty good case scenario.
Rare, especially when you have that many people that are involved with such a complicated show to shoot. And it is a complicated show to shoot. There's so many things happening at one time. Everybody that was involved was just so good.
Yeah.
So it made things which made things much easier for Alan and I while we were hosting it.
Interesting. You mentioned before here, obviously Asia's Got Talent, hosting Lethway, you like traveling, and how do you deal with all that kind of traveling? Because when I meet these kind of people, and I include myself in that as well, who are freelancing, who do a lot of different stuff, it always includes a lot of traveling, and everybody is different. For me, I used to enjoy traveling a lot, and I still do at certain times, but at other times I really miss that one base, to have the base. I want to be there for 3-4 months and just become part of my neighborhood or whatever it is. And sometimes you don't really have the time to actually enjoy where you live. And in my case, and I can only speak for myself, to be born in East Germany, then move over to Sweden and now live in Bangkok, for me that's funny as fuck. How I ended up here, you know what I mean? Everybody has a story, and it's How do you deal with that of not being from here, part of originally obviously part Burmese as you mentioned, but yeah, trying to build your base on the other side of the planet and then deal with your travels? How much time do you have to build your base?
I mean, I had a solid 8 years in Bangkok to make my base here. So that was.
But you still travel during the time, right?
I was still, well, it was my base. So I was doing modeling contracts in other countries. I'd go to Manila or Kuala Lumpur or Singapore and for 3 months at a time, and then come back here.
Yeah.
And then travel.
But that's what I mean, man. You 3 months here and 3 months there. It's not really base.
I feel like my connection with Bangkok is so strong that I don't even need to be here that much for this to feel like home or to feel like a base.
Oh, that's cool though.
Even though I'm based more in Singapore now, I'm still here almost half the time.
Okay,
I see. So, and the moment I step off that plane, I'm home. I'm in Bangkok. Bangkok still feels like home. I mean, Singapore's my home too, but something about this town really connects with me. The vibe here, there's an energy here. I do most of my creative work, my writing. I come here to write for different films. All my film projects I do here for a spectrum of reasons. One of them being just I feel more creative here. There's a connection here with the city that I have.
But what do you connect that to? What makes Bangkok so much different from Singapore? Obviously, there's a bunch of differences. But why are you creative here? Why do you have the capability of getting creative here in Bangkok and not as much as in Singapore?
I still have the capability of getting creative in Singapore. There's a lot of very talented people there. But what Bangkok has to offer is is this chaotic romance in this city. There's the kind of people that Bangkok attracts. It attracts a certain type of person, whether they're Thai or from across the globe. It attracts a person that doesn't necessarily care about money, that cares about making. Exactly. It's a cheap place to live, right? So there you go. So it attracts people that don't care about money, that people that don't necessarily have money. And it seems to attract a certain kind of person that just wants to make and do cool shit.
You see, when you say that, I immediately think of the phrase "the American dream." I think there should be something that is called the Bangkok dream, because I hear exactly what you are saying. The kind of people that you describe would come to Bangkok fits exactly your description.
People like yourself. You're from East Germany. You're here. I'm a Texas boy.
Yeah,
I'm here. Some of my best friends here. The ones that are not Thai are from Germany or from Sweden or from LA.
Can be from anywhere.
London, right? And they're all doing really cool shit.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people do a lot of cool shit. That is what I find so interesting. I was, wow, that is quite a drift, because I had this in my mind that we would talk about this, but not so soon, because before I came here to set up the podcast at the Dreamcatcher Hostel Bar and Cafe, plug time, I actually started to watch The Blue Planet 2, you know, and I realized that I'm fascinated with a lot of very simple things in life. And it can be just to meet new interesting kind of people. And Bangkok is definitely a place where you can do that. But it depends on the location, because obviously, I say obviously a lot today. My apologies. Bangkok is a lot of different areas. You have Thong Lo, you have Eka Mai, which are very, I kind of want to say hipster, but I don't really want to say hipster, because it's the more affluent of the Bangkokonians, as well as the expats, people with money, people that enjoy the finer things, which is great. There's really nice bars, really nice restaurants there. Oh, the what's the name? Rabbit Hole, my favorite place in
not been yet.
Oh, it's a very interesting bar. It's very hidden, as the name says. It's the Rabbit Hole. Play good funk music. I told you at the beginning of this podcast before we started, I'm a huge fan of music. I need the right background music, and the Rabbit Hole is the right place to be. Same as the problem. Maybe you know this one, the Iron Ferries.
Iron Ferries, yeah.
It's kind of a known place here in Bangkok. They have karaoke, and if you go inside the place, it actually looks like a pirate ship. That's another thing that I love with this city. It's the same in Bali. You really have to go into the places to discover how cool Bangkok really is, because there's so much concrete and so many roads. that you don't often really see the beauty of Bangkok at the first sight. Yeah, it sounds very romantic, but I feel like
it is. I think Bangkok is one of the most romantic cities on the planet.
So let me ask you this question, because as somebody who is an actor, TV host, involved in all this filming and movies, I join in on that. Can I have another one, please? Thank you. We are ordering beers here on air. Yeah. Don't podcast and drink, or don't drink and drive. It was, I think.
Don't podcast and not drink.
Exactly. That's that is where the danger is. It's not dangerous to drive fast on the speedway. It's dangerous to drive slow. That sounded very smart. I should make that a quote on Instagram. I was talking about the hidden beauty of Bangkok. Yeah. Oh, yeah. For somebody who likes film, is involved in the whole media world. Do you know a place in Bangkok? I got there once with a job that I did for a magazine. It's a hidden place. You have to knock on the door, and they open the door, and you walk into the bar on the first floor, and there's all kinds of movie stuff, like old cameras, movie posters. You can have a drink, and then you go on the second level, and there's a sofa with I think there's a fireplace too.
There's a screening room as well, isn't there?
I told you.
Sukhumvit 22, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
What's it called? Because I always
can't remember. We're not going to do a very good job of plugging them.
Damn.
But to be honest, they're almost like a secret society there. Like, you kind of got to know somebody to get in. It's actually for people that are in the kind of arts community here. Is kind of what they're geared towards.
Well, we did a story back then about cocktails that that you could see in movies, like famous movie cocktails. So we kind of got there to the location. I really enjoyed it, because on the second floor you have the sofa and the big screen. You can watch movies, and then on the third floor you have a whole cinema. And you can do what you want. You can
it's a good spot.
Ask for whatever movie you want. And I don't get around this. I watched Black Panther the other day. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, shoot. I haven't seen Black Panther yet, but obviously the reviews have been quite stellar.
You should see it.
I intend to. Favorite movie? There's so many. I mean, as far as recent films, Logan was really good.
Not seen Logan.
Oh, man. It's pretty
good.
And
I'm a huge X-Men fan, actually.
Really? I enjoyed it. I mean, it changed the game for, I think, superhero movies. The ending got a little fluffy for me, but it stayed dark and true all the way up until that ending. It was really solid. Enemy with Jacob Gyllenhaal, directed by Denis Villeneuve.
No, I have not seen it.
That's really.
I need to see the poster.
Surreal film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you had an all-time favorite, like what could it be? I know there's many movies to choose from.
A movie that influenced the two movies that I think influenced me growing up the most.
Oh boy, here we go.
Three movies that influenced me the most growing up, because I watched all three of them over and over again.
Okay, Turtles from the 90s, obviously.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Okay.
With Matthew Broderick. The high school movie flick.
Yeah.
And then.
What year is that one?
Shoot.
From? Sorry to ask, but
84.
84. Okay. Just so I can make an adjustment. How old you are and when you saw the movie. And
Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh yes, Eddie Murphy. Hilarious.
I can't believe my parents let me watch that movie like twice a day. For
that movie is awesome. Which one is your favorite?
First one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Second one's good too. But
I enjoy the whole series.
They're all pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I'm a bit of a dinosaur fan. So Jurassic Park.
Get a fist on that one.
Jurassic Park, man.
What do you think about the remakes?
Yeah, they really haven't been able to replicate the magic of the first one. This next one that's coming out, apparently is supposed to be a bit darker. We'll see.
I'm very interested to see.
I would like them to go darker. They've been a little too Disney as of late.
Yeah, it's a mainstream level. I know what you're talking about.
The darker films are better.
But what always amazes me, as I said, I'm a very easy person to impress and to amaze. The Jurassic Park crowd seems to go along very well with the Star Wars crowd. Because the Star Wars crowd is always bitching about something with the new movies, and so are the Jurassic fans. But it's still getting, like, the last Star Wars movie was, I liked it a lot. And I like the classics, but I like the new ones more because of the technology we have available today. Same with the Jurassic Park things. It is amazing for me to see those movies in that way, but it's hard to compare that to what you feel with that movie. I know it sounds funny, but my first cinema movie was Lion King. I was 11 years old. I sneaked into the cinemas to see The Mask. And then I was not old enough, and all me and my buddy had to do was to watch Lion King. And he actually puked. I had told that story on the podcast before.
Fred puked.
I don't know why. He just ran out of the middle.
I've got a funny puking story if you'd like to hear it.
Well, if we reach that level right now, go ahead.
So this was last year around this time. I was actually flying up to Bangkok. Flying up to Bangkok to go to Wonder Fruit.
Do you keep a... No, I almost puked. I had to burp. Do you keep a puking diary, or because it sounds so specific?
This particularly scarred me emotionally and mentally for the rest of my life. Because it was on a plane. So I woke up the morning that I was supposed to go to Bangkok, all excited because I was coming to Bangkok for Wonder Fruit Festival, which is held just outside of Pattaya. And my stomach felt a little bit off. Didn't think much of it. Got to the airport. Stomach started feeling worse. I was like, try that thing where you like have like a Coca-Cola. It's supposed to settle your stomach. That did not work. It made it worse. I got on the plane. So I'm in the plane now, sitting down, these cold sweats, this chill. I asked the stewardess, we haven't even taxied away yet. I asked the stewardess, do you have a blanket? I'm really cold. She's like, that'll be $15. and I was like, no, I'm cool. Never mind. This is Tiger Airways, by the way.
Shout out to Tiger Airways.
Yeah, I love Tiger Airways. Actually, I was not willing to buy that blanket for $15. And then just as the plane started taxiing away from the gate, everything started blowing up. I was like, this is about to go down. And then I
literally.
Or go up. And then I reached for the puke bag in front of me, in the seat behind me, in the seat in front of me, grabbed it, tried to rip open that tab, and I just ripped it in half. So then I was like, shit. And then I looked to the other seat in front of me, and I looked at the guy that was sitting next to me. I was like, you gonna use this? He was like, no. He starts freaking out. I grab it, and I just didn't even make it. I just projectile vomiting against the seat in front of me, like movie style projectile vomit,
yummy.
like ricocheting off the back of the seat onto this next guy. He's jumped up on top of his wife. He's like sitting, looks screaming like a little 12-year-old girl.
That's hilarious.
Meanwhile, this is all taking place as the stewardess has been doing safety instructions. So she's frozen. She's like holding like the oxygen mask in the air and just staring at me. Totally, the whole plane is gasped, and then I puked again.
Are you saying that the whole place were aware at that point that you were puking?
Oh no, the entire flight knew what was going down. There's a guy puking on row 12, and then nobody knew what to do. Everybody just sat there frozen, and I looked at her and I go, I think we need to clean this up. And somebody comes back with like these little napkins. It was a massive amount of fluid. Because I had a smoothie right before.
Why would you drink a smoothie if you already feel fucked up?
I thought it was okay. It didn't seem that bad. And then so this all came out, and I just remember walking back to the back of the plane.
Walk of shame.
With just like covered in my own puke. And then I'm in the bathroom, and then I took off my shirt. I just put the shirt in a bag.
That's what models do.
Tried to clean off my pants of the vomit the best I could, and they gave me the blanket for free.
You deserve that, man.
I got the free blanket, and then I was just curled up in a ball, shivering. They cleared out all 2 rows of seats all around me. Nobody wanted to sit there. Put them in priority seating. And then I had to walk through Suvarnabhumi Airport without a shirt on through immigration, just covered by a Tiger Airways blanket. But to immigration's credit, nobody even blinked an eye.
What?
It was like this happens all the time.
Oh, he must be going to Kupanyang to the full moon party, probably.
Like, whatever. Guy without a shirt on going to immigration, no big deal here at Suvarnabhumi Airport in Bangkok.
That is hilarious. I can only imagine what is going on in the other people's heads, because the plane didn't even take off yet. It's like, if it's that bad already now,
they were
what's
like
going to be like in there?
He's got Ebola. We're all dead.
That must be a funny thing to play around with, though. I mean that in a very bad way. My humor can be very black sometimes, but if you see people freaking out, I do that a lot. I had a flight from Singapore, actually, to Bangkok, and I had this kid next to me, and we got into turbulences landing in Bangkok, and to make the kid feel better, I was just raising my hands and was like, whoa, that is fun. And then I turned around and I could see the eyes of the parents, and I just said, we're probably not going to make it. I love to fuck around with people when it comes to flying, because I think, and my belief,
I'm a pilot, we're definitely going down.
Yeah, my name is Stevo. I'm sorry to be your captain today, but today is not your day of arrival. No, but I think, in my belief, so many people are afraid of flying because they just don't know how it works. Once again, easy things amaze me, and it still amazes me every time I step into a plane. It's incredible how this massive thing can take off into the air, but once you understand the physics behind it, it makes you more calm. That's how I took the fear from flying when I started flying. I was very afraid of it, and now I can not imagine anything better than dying in a plane crash or anything like that. I mean, there are better things.
I can imagine better things, like, I don't know, not dying in a plane crash.
Exactly. My point is, if I would have to choose my death, I would always choose to die in a plane crash. Drowning is one of the worst things that I could imagine.
Yeah, I mean, if you die in a plane crash, you're
fucked.
You're just gone.
Fuck the life vest.
No
Your chance of surviving is like. Yeah. That's why I never listen to that shit. If I've been flying so many times and I still don't know how the life vest works, because in my head it's like, if we're going down, we're going down. It's
lean back and relax.
Exactly. That's the point.
Enjoy the ride.
Where you don't control everything. Are you a control freak?
I kind of am. I am in certain ways. I'm a control freak with regards to when I'm making something, like when I'm doing a film or a TV show, I can be a little controlling. I've been told that I can be hard to work with because I get a little particular about how I'm delivering certain things, and if I'm directing a film or writing a certain film with somebody else, I tend to think I'm right a lot. But when absolutely I'm not right all the time, for sure not. It's just when it's my stuff, I get very protective.
Of course.
And so, like, I mean, like, to the point to, like, I mean, a lot of my stuff, I have to edit it. I have to edit the first draft when I'm doing a film. For our YouTube channel, I have to be the guy that edits it. I even have to do the sound. Like, I get very protective. Yeah. And which I need to start letting go of that and get other people and allow other people to do those kinds of things so that I can focus on creating other kinds of things. Yeah. And you know, kind of spread out a bit more.
But this is the thing with doing your own thing. When you're actually freelancing and you try to build something, you always get very protective, because every project that you do as a freelancer, no matter if you're a musician, a TV host, a filmmaker, a photographer, whatever you are, it's always, a project is always more like, it's my little baby, you know. I need to take care of it. And
if you want to grow and get bigger and do more, then you've got to start trusting other people. But you have to, and I'm starting to try and get better at that.
That is super hard, man. For me, I cannot deal with that. It's not easy. I have a very hard time to trust other people when it comes to my work. I'm very straightforward. I had a bunch of assistants, and shout out to each one of you that are out there and loving me and hating me, most likely hating me, because I'm not a good boss. I still need to learn to let some things go. That's the hardest thing for me when I shoot events like the World Leathweight Championship. I'm not sure, but there are 2 photographers around there. I'm not sure if you saw the other one. One of the best photographers I ever worked with. Very easy to get along with, to work as a photography team. But my point is, because he delivers fast and I'm like the artist bitch. I'm like, no, I need to create my photograph 2 hours at least before I release it to the world. So I know exactly what you talk about, but I also realize it's necessary. Yeah. It's necessary. But my dad always used to say, if you send shit, you get shit.
Yeah.
He told that to me when he asked me to please get him a glass of water sometimes. And I was like, I can't find the glass. And he's like, yeah, when you send shit, you get shit. It's so hard to trust other people. The only person that you can trust 100% is yourself.
That's very true.
So how much do you walk through the world, especially when you travel and you are on a plane and you say, okay, this dude is going to fuck us all up? Because there's a lot of weird people out there, and I said it many times before, there's a lot of idiots out there. And in certain situations, I'm one of those idiots. But in other situations, it's other people, and that annoys the shit out of me.
I don't know. I'm pretty positive and optimistic whenever I don't think I've ever really get that vibe.
No?
Rarely. Not that I can recall, to be honest. I mean,
have you been to China?
I have.
Yeah?
I've been...
I'm not saying that all assholes are living in China. I love China. But traveling in China at the airport where pushing the line is the most normal thing to do, that is where my hate grows.
I think you got to understand. I think I mean, obviously, when you're traveling around international airports in Asia, you run into a lot of Chinese tourists, and there's definitely a difference between a Chinese tourist and a tourist from another country. But I just tell myself, you know, a country that where the middle class there has grown super fast in the past 10 years, and it's only just recently that people there are getting to travel and really travel around the world. Your average person in China is now able to just travel around the world as Americans and Europeans have had the privilege of doing for a long time. Only until recently have Chinese people been able to do that. And so many of them have now have that opportunity so fast. A lot of these people, China's a big place. They're from, a lot of them are from not even farms. They're from just cities that are just not necessarily touched by a lot of international influence. There's cities in China that we haven't even heard of that are 10 million people. You know, so like when you start thinking about that, and this is these people's kind of first experience. Like you don't have foreigners going to these cities in China, right? But they're coming out. Yeah. So this is their first experience outside of China. So this is how they're accustomed to behaving. Was totally normal in their community.
But no, I have to interrupt you.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, I have to interrupt you. I'm very rude here, but
please
when
go.
This is how you know, this is how you learn to behave. I cannot imagine that a lot of people that grew up in these Chinese cities are taught to behave like assholes on the airport. And I'm not being racist, ladies and gentlemen.
See, that they're not, to them, they're not being assholes. Like literally, they have no idea what they're doing.
But like, the normal manners, man. Like stand at if you are about to come to a gate,
culture gap.
You stand in line. You don't go all the way past the line and just move your ass straight in front of somebody else at the beginning of the line.
A lot of them don't get the line thing.
It's incredible.
They don't line up there. Where they're from, they don't line up. There aren't lines.
It's
where they're from, there are not lines.
Somebody needs to make signs. Stay at the end of this line.
They're not going to care.
Yeah. And you see, now you think we are talking about bad habits of Chinese people, but here at the Surrounded by Details podcast, live from the Dreamcatcher Hostel Bar and Cafe, we go deep into the life and the character of our guests.
But see, for them, it's not a bad habit. It's just normal. That's the thing. You gotta like kind of step outside the box and look at it. Like, this is normal for them. If they truly understood how uncomfortable they were making everybody else, they wouldn't do it.
I see your point.
They don't understand that that's not customary.
I understand that point, but some things are so obvious.
They're obvious to you
that
and
even if you don't know
culture.
them, you learn them at least when you're there, because you just look at everybody else how they are behaving, and then you behave the same way.
See, that's the thing. They're not going to pick up on those cues. Because they've never seen them before in that way.
So what do you think is, that is my point of this whole direction, what do you think is your worst habit? If we talk about Justin Bratton, the person that is self-aware of itself, what is the worst habit of yourself?
Oh, there's so many. Where do I begin? We're going to be here a long time. I feel like now we're about to enter a confessional.
But let's say something that you are aware of that you're not good at, but you would like to improve it, but you have a hard time improving it.
I think, okay, so one thing that I probably should stop doing is I do feel obligated to try and meet up with friends all the time, which can be time consuming, especially when you're in a kind of a transient world with always friends coming into town and everything. It's a lot of time to do that, and you go out and you stay out late, and it decreases your productivity level the next day.
Definitely, yeah.
For obvious reasons, as I hold up this beer. That's one. The other one is I have a bad. I'm a pretty focused guy. I tend to try and make sure that I'm doing things every day that are going towards my goals. But even with that, I want to get better at not putting things off. I am bad at putting certain things off.
I think that is something that comes with age. With age, you realize, you know what, it's just doing it. Just do it.
To be honest, I'm getting better at that. I think with my age, I've gotten better at just go ahead and pulling triggers on stuff.
Yeah.
Getting better at not waiting for other people.
What do you mean by that?
I think often, especially when you're a freelancer, you tend to wait for other people to make things happen for you.
Yes.
And as you get older and you spend more time doing this, you start to realize that is not what you can do.
Yeah.
You have to just do it yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be, there has to be a green light all the time, and you need to go, go, go. Otherwise, the stuff you want to happen isn't going to happen.
I totally agree.
And I myself, I mean, been doing this for, over a decade now, still needs to get better at that aspect of it.
I see what you mean, especially when you have, again, as a freelancer, it doesn't matter what direction you come from. Nobody is coming to you to make things happen. You really have to work for certain things. And I have that a lot when I talk to friends or even my family sometimes. They say, you are so lucky. And I don't really like to say that, because you have to work for your luck. You have to make your luck happen. Without you, there is no luck that will come to you. You have to put yourself in these situations where you have to say, yes, you know what? I'm going to fly to Malaysia and take 2 weeks off, even if it doesn't feel like that, because out of the strangest situations, you most often have the best things coming out of. Does that make any sense?
Oh, totally makes sense.
Yeah, you have to put yourself in the direction.
You have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations to grow as a person.
Did you ever have a job where you were, from the beginning, something is itchy, something is weird, something it could be more of an adventure than actually being a paid job, and despite all the negative things that you could list up in your head, you said, yes, I'm going to do that?
Honestly, I've been very fortunate. You would think there'd be a better story here with the amount of time that
I was hoping for a crazy story.
As far as work goes, I've been pretty good at sniffing stuff out. I've been in some circumstances that just broke out into just total nonsense before. I mean, I got the shit beat out of me while shooting a TV commercial in Langkawi.
What? Please come again. Say that again.
I was in Langkawi, Malaysia, and we were shooting a Bacardi TV commercial for India.
Bacardi, we talking alcohol?
Yes.
Okay.
We're shooting a Bacardi. It was a week-long shoot in Langkawi, and we had a wrap party for the shoot. Myself and a couple of the models and the directors and producers went out, and long story short, we were quite drunk, went to this beach bar, and the assistant director was a black guy from Canada. And one of the people there at the bar
had one Bacardi too much. Had some racially leaning comments to throw his direction. And we were like, oh, that's not good. So we're like, let's leave. So we tried to leave. We pulled him away because he used to play American football in college. Track star. I see.
He's studying martial arts. Big dude, could take some people down. And we were like, this isn't good. And one thing you'd ever do, one rule of thumb when you're traveling, you don't get into fights with locals.
Okay,
because
let me stop you
because locals, I mean, if you get into wherever you are in the world, locals are going to stay with locals, and you're going to a losing battle because there's way more of them than you, no matter what the fight. The other people don't know what the fight's about. They just know it's one of them versus one of you, for the most part, and it ends up getting dirty. So we tried to leave to get out of that situation, and he riled up a couple of buddies. They came out, kept screaming at some racial obscenities to our friends. I mean, he was quite drunk himself. I'm not sure. I don't know if this is a person that is inherently racist. I have no idea. Or if he was just drunk and just had a bad day. I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt because I don't know the story. Because people have bad days and they say things they don't mean when they're drunk. Yeah. This evening, he was being very insensitive to the ethnicity of my buddy that was involved in this commercial. And he snapped, man. He was drunk too, and he ran at the guy and just punched him in the head. That guy went down. As soon as he went down, a lot of people came out of the woodworks to take the rest of us down. So it essentially became a scenario where you had this Brazilian guy, Bruno, great guy. He's studied Muay Thai, And so he was kneeing some guy in the head. I remember this very clearly. I was trying to not get involved in the fight because I am not a fighter. Yeah. I do not fight. I need to learn. I need to start learning some martial arts because these days everybody knows a little bit, and you don't want to get in a situation where you know nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and so I need to start going to some classes. But this is before
survival.
To be honest, this was back in 2009 before everybody knew martial arts. But my buddy Bruno knew martial arts. The assistant director knew martial arts. And they're beating up on some guys. They're doing a great job. I felt like everything was under control. And then like 10 to 15 more guys come out.
There's no way out of this
and
either.
Like there's nothing. They just know that you're against them. There's no conversation. There's no what happened here.
Yeah.
You know, there's also a bit of a language barrier.
You belong to them. You're
with them, and you know, enemy. And so I got involved with. There was a guy that came at my buddy Bruno with a massive rock. He was gonna hit him in the back of the head. And I saw this, and I grabbed this guy and threw him up against a wall. And now all of a sudden, now I'm in it. And then you have guys coming at me. Damn. I remember my buddy Wesley had like this big stick, and he's swinging it at people. It's just like there's like 4 of us versus like 15 dudes. Not a good scenario. I was also on the 5th month of ACL surgery recovery.
Ouch.
And I got separated kind of from the group and got my knee kicked. My knee got kicked. Yeah. And I retore my ACL right there during this brawl. They were able to run away. I was stuck there to get beat up on. They didn't leave me behind necessarily. Like they had to run or they were going to get their asses kicked. And you had one of the producers who was a Malaysian guy that was there trying to defend me. And then, shoot, bless their hearts, a couple of female models were there. They weren't.
They saved us.
They were trying to get in the way, and they were getting hit as bystanders. Like the guys that were there weren't attacking them, but they were just
in the way.
They were just in the way of the brawl. Yeah. And I was getting held up, worked, punched, rocks to my face. My clothes got ripped off. My shirt got ripped off, got cut up. I got a few good hits in there, here and there, but I was mostly just trying to protect myself. I was on the ground getting kicked, 2 black eyes, chipped teeth,
what is going on?
Bumps all over my head. Finally, the cops came. Cops were pretty useless. I'm not gonna lie. They were trying to pull me away with one arm, which just left me with one less arm to defend myself.
Swing with
as I'm getting hit. Finally, they calmed everybody down, and then they dispersed the crowd, and got back to the hotel and was iced up and. Actually had a shoot the next day here in Bangkok for this film where I played a heroin addict.
Perfect. You got the blue eye.
Exactly. Yeah. The director comes up, had no idea what was going on. The director comes up, he goes,
"That's great makeup."
He goes, "That's exactly what he said." He goes, "That's great makeup." And I go, "Yeah, bro, this ain't makeup, man." He was like, shit.
Took me 1 hour and 5 beers to get.
What happened? I was like, shit got real in Langkawi.
And that is so funny. Shit got real in Langkawi, or whatever the name is. That is an average day of Justin Bratton at work.
That's a resort town. Usually it's an amazing place. I love Langkawi. It's a great place to visit. But it doesn't matter where you are, man. You could be anywhere, and you can just find yourself at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Exactly.
And shit can go down.
Exactly. That is exactly correct. Sometimes you're at the wrong place at the wrong time.
And Langkawi's a safe place, man.
Yeah.
As far as I know,
it's a
good town with good people. I love Malaysians. Everybody that's in Langkawi, they're great people. Just all it takes is one person
to be a dick,
to be a dick, or to have a bad day, and that caused them to do something, or maybe something happened to him of somebody of that ethnicity, and like the other day before, and there's, everybody's got a story.
I totally hear you on that. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I would suggest a short break here because I need to go and take a leak. I told you I'm a weird beer drinker, even as a German.
Do it.
And I just go for a quick toilet break, and we shall be back in 1 minute, 1.5 minutes.
Sounds good.
Boom.
I'll be here. Possibly ordering another beer. Actually, I'm going to try one of these. 5.7. Wow, you're not messing around. You get the same? I'll try the same as what Steve was drinking. Give it a go. Thank you very much. This beer's quite good. I'm impressed. Where's it? Is it from? Where's it from? It is from here. Oh, it's from Pohonyatin. Yeah, the brewery up there. Oh shit. Okay. Good. I have a restaurant right up there. We should. I'm not sure why we don't have this. Oh well, yeah, this is quite good actually.
Boom, and there we go, back again. I even took
That was quick. It was less than a minute and a half, I think.
That was only because I am podcasting with you. I took the small toilet down here behind the stairs.
It's tiny.
It's super tiny.
It's made for people that are around 4'8".
Yeah, I'm way above that, unfortunately. Ha! Boom!
You're a tall person. Tall person.
That is another thing that I hate with traveling, to being tall. People don't believe me when I say it's tough to be tall when you travel, especially when you fly like Lion Air or Air Asia.
I'm not a tall person. I stand at about 5'9", and I still get the aisle seat every time.
Yeah?
For sure. Absolutely.
I kind of came to that point where, you don't... It feels weird to talk about this because I never really talked about this, but it's a safety corner here that we have. Nobody's really listening, so it's just between you and me. But
nobody's listening.
I love to be on the road with a backpack. I enjoy that. I love to be on a shitty bus where you have pigs down below where you have all your carry-ons and shit. I've done that from Vientiane to Hanoi through all of Asia. But as older you get, as more of a travel bitch I get, I'm like, no, premium member, dude.
I've learned to enjoy the finer things.
Yeah.
I still like doing that stuff on occasion for sure.
Yeah.
Especially just sometimes you just need to do it.
Yeah.
Like I did the train ride from Bombay, from Mumbai to Jaipur in the third class train car.
Oof.
That was.
That
was the real deal.
Do you carry
never again, mind you? But
do you carry cameras with you when you do stuff like that?
Yeah, I carry my Sony A7S as of late. Is my camera of choice. A7S II.
Are you a person that takes a lot of selfies and records a lot of stuff, or do you more live in the moment?
I do a lot of freaking selfies because I feel like I have to for damn Instagram. I don't enjoy selfies. I think selfies are the bane of all existence in mankind.
But is it something you enjoy?
No, I don't enjoy selfies. But
this is me.
You have to do it. In my line of work, you have to do it these days. Unfortunately. The selfie is a thing.
Yeah. Something that I wanted to talk to you about because you're from Canada.
I'm not from Canada.
Sorry.
How many beers have you
had? 3, 4, maybe.
Texas.
I might took an early flight over here to Dreamcatcher, if you know what I'm saying. No, you're from Texas, but something that I wanted to talk to you about because you are from #America and talking about one person fucking up for everybody else. It is that way. There's there's one crazy person on the highway, and then out of the sudden everybody cannot drive above this and this speed just because one person fucked up. You see, now I lost my thread, hating on all the people here, talking about travel and
you had a direction.
I had a direction about one person fucking up. On your Instagram post today earlier, you were posting a picture on your Instagram mentioning, thank you so much, by the way, for the share, that you were coming on the podcast. And you were stating in your capture that we might talk about everything, even on we're including plants on the wall. What exactly did you mean by that? Are you a big gardener?
In the picture, there's plants on a wall. I'm sitting in front of that picture.
My question is, are you a big gardener?
No.
No, not a big garden person?
I'm not. Honestly, I would get into it if I was in Singapore more, which is where I'm based. My buddy Alex, who I stay with here when I'm in Bangkok, he's big on gardening. He has like a whole garden in his balcony.
I know Singapore is, I think, one of the most Garden City, one of the most advanced countries in the world because
it's a gorgeous place.
They have this crazy technology. They have farms literally on rooftops and in skyscrapers. It's amazing.
Singapore's one of those places. I mean, I always say I'm more of a Bangkok guy because I just love this type of a city. But you got to give credit where credit's due. Yeah. Singapore is an absolutely phenomenal city. What they've accomplished with what they have, the government there is so smart.
Yeah,
and the people there are so everybody there is so motivated. They make shit happen.
Yeah, Singapore is the math class of countries.
They want to make things happen. They do it, and they know how to do it, and they hire the best of the best from all around the world to make sure that it's going to go down.
Yeah,
and that's how they solve problems.
Yeah,
which is coming from America. Currently, that's not how we're solving problems. We can learn a thing or two from Singapore right now.
When was the last time you actually went back to the States?
I go back every year for Christmas.
Yeah, are you a Christmas person?
I mean, it's the best time to go back because friends and family are off work, so I can see everybody.
Yeah, if I go home to visit, I try to avoid my family and friends. I'm joking. I love your mom and dad. I haven't seen them for a while. I don't go back so much, actually. Last time I was back and saw my parents was 4 years ago. I do a lot of Skype, and it always seems to be you either one side or the other. There's no in between.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm quite close to my parents. They come out to Asia quite a bit, and then I go there, and I'm going to go. My sister's having a child next month, so I'll go back to the States in June to see my future niece. And it's good to hang out with my parents.
So Justin Bratton is going to become an uncle.
I am.
Yeah, first time?
First time.
So what is, how do you would like to be as an uncle? What is your best picture scenario?
Just try to see the kid as much as possible would be the biggest hurdle since I live on the other side of the planet.
But as an uncle, you're quite a big person in that person's life.
Well, I won't be if I'm not there.
Do you want to be the cool uncle or do you want to be the...
I'll be the coolest uncle ever.
Yeah?
Yeah, totally.
Taking out the baby for beers and travels around Asia.
That's good. We got a good 18 years, 21 years in the States before that's...
Oh, it's 21 in the States?
21. Yeah. But you can buy a gun at 18 though, but you can't drink alcohol until you're 21.
Let's not even dive into that topic, man. Let's not even dive into that topic. Oh boy. Hashtag America. In Sweden we have this weird regulations. You're allowed to drink with the age of 18, but you cannot buy alcohol by yourself before you're 21. Because we have a special shop, it's called the Systembolaget, where you have to be 21 years old in order to buy liquor or alcohol that is stronger than, I believe, 5% or something. So child beer you can still kind of buy in the supermarket. Back in the days in Sweden, we used to actually try to get our own liquor game on. But for me, I always been in a good position actually because
even when you're not 21 in the States,
I was a smart asshole as a teenager. Let's put it this way.
Even in the States, when you're a teenager, you can still get booze. There's always a way to get booze.
What do you think is worse? Canada? What is it with Canada and me today?
Well, why are you hating on Canada?
I'm not hating on Canada. I guess I'm still surprised that it's not Canada in the hockey finals at the Olympic Games. It's it's Germany against Russia. How crazy is that?
No, they had the game today.
Huh?
The game already happened.
Okay, kind of my brain wants to say, please tell me. And I kind of know that Germany lost already because, come on, how did we even get in the finals? But do you know the result?
Yeah.
What is it?
I'm not telling you.
This is crazy. For me, this is really crazy because Germany in the ice hockey finals is like having...
Went into overtime.
What?
Went into golden goal.
No way. Yeah. This is crazy. Where's my phone? I need to watch this. This is insane. Are you a big ice hockey fan? What's your sport of choice, by the way?
Football.
Oh, yeah, we mentioned
proper, not American football, like soccer.
Yeah?
Proper football, yeah. I played since I was 5, played for my university. Was in the Olympic development program in Texas for a bit. Played a little semi-pro football in Mexico out of Monterrey. I was diehard. Played in a league here in Bangkok for a while.
Oh, there's a football league here in Bangkok.
There's a couple. I played in there's a big international league here, and I played for I actually played for the German All Stars.
You're international, man.
Played for a German team. Now,
how does that feel?
It was fun. I enjoyed it. Everything was going great with football until I tore my ACL, and then retore it in Langkawi, Malaysia.
It sounds painful, man.
It didn't feel good.
Is that or was that one of your dreams when you were a kid? I mean, most of
Definitely.
the dreams of a kid is to be a sports star.
I wanted to become a professional soccer player.
And where did you realize it's not going to happen?
I kind of realized it in college, just because I was having so many injuries. Like I was fast at one point. There's so many knee injuries, ankle injuries, and once you have a lot of injuries, that your speed just dwindles. And once your speed dwindles, that affects how you play, and it became an issue. I was still able to go. I graduated from University of Texas, and I was still able to play at a pretty high level in Mexico. But then I messed my ankle up again.
Do you have flashbacks? Do you have flashbacks where you say, I could have made it?
I have nightmares of. I still have nightmares of those injuries, like exactly how they all occurred. And,
man, when I think when you're injured, it also pops something mentally in your brain, because once you unlock, it's like having the first piss after a couple of beers. Once you have that first piss, it's over. And I think it's the same when you're young, when you want to be an athlete, and then you have one injury, and then you have two, and then you have three, and it just keeps going.
One of the things they don't tell you when you're younger, which I felt like people had driven to me more, is when you get hurt when you're younger, you never will heal.
How do you mean that?
You're never gonna like every injury I've ever had when I was young is now still kicking my ass.
Okay,
it's come back. Like so my ankle.
Yeah.
My left ankle. It's a problem. It'll act up when I'm just going for a jog now.
Damn.
Because I sprained it so bad. I stretched out all those ligaments like so many times. And my left shoulder. I have to be careful with my left shoulder because I separated it 3 times playing soccer. Obviously the knees. Don't even get me started. So yeah, and those things so I don't know, when you're young you never do the right physiotherapy. I felt like I was doing the proper physiotherapy, and I think maybe these days kids are having that driven home to them more because people know more about medicine and physiotherapy than they used to.
Kids become smarter nowadays.
When I was growing up, when I was getting hurt, when I was a kid, when I was in my early 20s, I thought just because I felt fine, that I was fine.
But we didn't have Google back then. We
really
did not have Google. We could not doctor ourselves.
I wonder if that's the case. Kids in sports now, when they're getting hurt, are they doing more of the same type of physiotherapy
100%.
when they're 18, 19 than we were when we were younger?
Kids are so much more ahead of what I was at the age of 15, 16. I think now when you're younger, with the access to Google and all this kind of stuff.
I'm catching up to 16-year-olds.
Exactly, dude. Now. You saying it. When I watch a tutorial to keep myself up to date on Photoshop, and I'm pretty good on Photoshop. Yes. I can do all kinds of stuff. But then you have an 11-year-old, he's like, hello, my name is blah, 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 and I'm going to teach you this and this on this video today. But before I do so, my favorite candy, and I'm sitting there like, come to the point.
He's got like a really high-pitched voice. Like he hasn't hit puberty yet. He's like 12.
It annoys the shit out of me, man.
Alright guys, today No, I did the same thing today. I was trying to do something different on Adobe Premiere, Adobe Premiere 2018, which is new, and I still don't know how to find stuff on it. So I was editing today. And yeah, the kid's YouTube video, he was like 14.
It makes me feel so stupid, man.
His balls hadn't dropped yet. his voice level was still super high.
Doesn't that make you feel really old? I mean, I'm only 32. I haven't even come, hopefully.
32 is when I had my first hangover.
Hangover? High five.
My first hangover was at 32.
High five on that one. People, and including myself, always were kind of cocky when I was like, yeah, I never really get a hangover. I can drink.
For a long time.
No.
X-wise.
But that gives you some time to sheet before you get...
The issue with just kind of looking fit, like just genetically looking fit, is you feel like you don't actually have to work out as hard. So I'm actually in less shape than other people that look less fit than me. Because they will work harder to get into shape to look.
Yeah.
It's not a gift. It
is a gift.
I don't know.
It is a gift to look amazing.
I need to get in better shape. So when I drink, like you just like, especially as you get older.
Are you excessive drinker? Once you start, it just goes to Veronimo, and
it varies. It varies with just the friends I'm with, the crowd I'm with. Generally, I'm okay.
Yeah. But then you always have that dick asshole friend who tells you there's enough time for another.
As I was saying before, it's those social obligations that I feel inclined to be a part of that become the issue.
Yeah.
A friend's in town. It's always it's a friend's in town.
Yeah.
I drink too much when a friend's in town. The problem is
it's a good occasion though.
There's too many friends that are in town, or when I'm in town. Like it's always.
Wait, you're saying you drink when you're in town, well, but you're always in town.
I travel a lot too.
Okay.
Right? So,
because
no, but like when you drinking is just when you get older, you really start to understand how bad it is for you.
Yeah.
Like I'm at the point now where if I just get properly drunk, I will have a 3-day hangover.
Wow, 3 days.
3 days.
Do you ever drink by yourself? I think that's where the problem starts. I think that's where the problem starts when you actually start to drink when you're by yourself.
On occasion, I'll have a glass of wine or something by myself. I mean, I don't mind drinking by myself.
That doesn't count. Like when you have it too free.
If I drink by myself, I don't drink in excess. I'll have a couple of drinks, chill drinks, and I'll do some writing and stuff, and like get a little bit of mode and go for it. It's the doing it socially where it becomes the problem.
Yeah.
Not when I'm by myself. And yeah, no, you can't. If I drink a fair amount and I try and go for a run the next day, my muscles can't handle it. I can't make it.
It's over.
5K isn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's just not. Or if I go try and do some yoga, I'm gonna sprain something. Like it's just. But if I take a week off of drinking, shoot, man, I just know clarity mentally. You know the difference. My vision is better.
But that's the same with smoking, man. And when I talk smoking, my audience knows this by now. I'm obviously talking about cannabis. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter what it is. If you can get addicted to everything. It could be alcohol, cannabis, shopping, TV show, whatever it is. Whatever you spend a lot of time with doing and enjoying, you should take a break of it once in a while to actually enjoy it. I think that is nothing less than actually healthy. So no matter if it comes to drinking, even if you work out every day and do that over and over again until the end of time, you need to take a break at some time.
Definitely. I mean, your body needs to heal.
So that's something
from whatever.
Something to work on.
Food for thought. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get in shape, and so obviously if you end up going out and drinking and it's affecting 3 days of your life because you go out and have a few drinks. That's a lot of time.
A few drinks, 3 days of hangover.
That's a lot of time. Okay, a few drinks is going to be 3 days of hangover. But I mean, no, I think when you get a little bit older, that one drink can go a long way. Especially if you're trying to work out and get in shape. Like if I'm trying to run, like do a triathlon. I mean, there's a reason athletes just don't drink.
Yeah, I think
when they're training, like those Olympic athletes don't drink for like 6 months until they're done. Like then they drink for the first time when they're totally finished, because it sets you back even a little bit.
Yeah, that reminds me of a question that I asked you about earlier, because I asked you what did you have that dream case scenario as a kid to be a professional athlete, and do you have that the other way around nowadays, that you look back at your childhood dream of what you would like to become one day and actually said, I'm actually quite happy that this didn't happen. I always wanted to be a football player, but I'm talking the European football, soccer, that you actually play with a foot.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
And now I'm looking back and just say I'm actually happy, because it gives me so much time to go and experience different things that I would never have as a professional athlete. And I think a lot of people actually underestimate that and complaining how they own so much money and all they do is kick a ball, but they are in the spotlight all day. They have to do training all day. They have to play.
Hard.
It's a difficult job, man.
To be that good is so much work. Like you have to be so committed and love what you do so much to be those guys, those professional players that have professional football careers for like 10 years.
So what would you say is the thing that you learned a lot from, that you experienced the most in your life as a non-pro athlete that you could have never experienced as a pro athlete? Do you know what I mean?
I mean the travel. If I become a professional athlete, I wouldn't have been traveling across the world. I mean, or maybe there's a lot of
depends on the sport.
Well, it depends. I mean, there's a lot of you get a lot of like Brazilian footballers that end up making it in Asia, right? That end up making it in Singapore or Malaysian league or the Thai league. There's a lot of Germans and Brazilians here, or French players here in the Thai league.
Yes.
So and then they obviously travel around Asia. So, but I think the variety of people that I meet because of what I do, and the variety of subject matter that I've been able to tap into because of what I do has been amazing. Like because I did a lot of shows, did a few shows for Channel News Asia, which were travel documentary type based shows where we would just learn about different things from anything across the world, whether it be suicide rates in Korea to the way the London bus system works in London to cannabis being legalized in Colorado. All that kind of stuff. So every episode I'm learning so much about all these different things, and you know, that's what's cool about kind of being a TV host. You get to learn a lot being in the media about you get to learn a lot from experts that are in different fields across the entire global and spectrum. Experience
a bunch of different things and traveling to a bunch of different places, which you have done in your 37 years.
How old am I? I was born in 81. Let's do the math on this.
We don't need to do the math.
September
you just need to bring
81.
out your ID. That's all you need to do. You know what, by the way?
My ID doesn't say my age.
Can you give me my bag? I want to show you something funny. And it's, yes, because I can show it to you. This is a podcast, which means the people, the audience.
I'm 36. I just want to verify that right now.
So what year are you born?
81.
81. So you are 36, 35? Yeah.
I'll be 37.
I'm 85. My sister's 82. She's 3 years older, so you're 2 years.
I'll be 37 in September. That's scary.
So, you really think so? I think 30 was a scary age.
Nah, 30 I didn't care.
No, 30 for me was a point where I realized...
Living in Bangkok at 30, and I didn't care about much.
No, with 30 I realized all the stuff that I did with my 20s was just bullshit.
You look... Okay, I'm looking... For those of you who can't tell what's happening right now, which is everyone, I'm looking at Steve-O's ID. Is this a Swedish ID?
This is the Swedish driver license, yes.
The Swedish driver's license. You look like the lead singer of a 90s English pop band.
I always want to...
You do.
Nah.
I'm trying to show the manager of the bar.
Yeah. Peanut. But Peanut knows how beautiful I am, right?
Wow.
No, she leaves me hanging on a high five.
Wow. What happened?
The beard happened. The beard happened. And yeah, I was already stoned at that picture, but the beard happened. That's why I have it around, because I look like a cancer patient when I don't have my beard. Yeah, but I was actually asking you a question, which was, with so much travel, so much experience of meeting different people and meeting different cultures. That is something that a lot of people always underestimate when you're a photographer, TV host. You host a bunch of different things. You take pictures of a bunch of different things. You get to experience a lot of different cultures. How would Justin Bratton describe himself as a person in 2018? And there will be a follow-up question.
Oh, God. That's a good question. I would describe myself as somebody who is continually trying to grow as a person in my career, trying to make higher quality stuff, whether that be in film or TV hosting. Somebody who's still trying to learn more about the cultures that I do come in contact with and develop an understanding of the world around me. That's the constant for me. I'm still trying to get a better sense of what's happening. I like to understand people. I've always kind of prided myself on. I've always prided myself as being somebody that's very understanding of people from different places and different cultures, and I do try and make an effort to learn and educate myself about these different things, just to develop that understanding. As you get older, you tend to do that more, I think. And
in what ways do you think your life so far, and this is my follow-up question, has brought you to these goals so far? What benefits have you taken from traveling, from hosting on television, on YouTube, discovery, on meeting different people? What is it that you said, I would recommend everybody to go out and travel and meet new people because of?
Because you gain perspective. You gain perspective, a global perspective. You gain a cultural perspective, and in the end, you learn more about yourself.
Yeah.
And the more you learn about yourself, I think the more fulfilling your life is. And the more you understand about people in general, no matter what walk of life they're from, no matter what economic background, religious background, cultural, ethnic background, the more that you travel and the more you talk to people, the more you realize that we're all really the same.
Yeah, and that nobody
we're all just people. And I think the more you begin to understand that, there's a comfort level in that, and there's this spirituality. And I hate to get super hippie right now because I don't really consider myself a hippie at all.
Don't you worry, man.
No, you gotta feel the vibe. But
Open up, man.
But seriously, the more you travel and the more you talk to people from different places, the more you really do realize is that we're just all the same.
Yeah.
And I think if more people realize that, shoot, man, how much better would the world be? How much good would be done where bad is being done if people honestly understood that we're all the same?
Yeah, and it's actually quite a nice connection to how we met because, as I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, we met in Myanmar, and what you just said reminds me of a sentence that I read in a book in Myanmar that I was trying to steal.
I remember that.
But I got caught on the bus.
Confiscated on the bus.
I got confiscated on the bus. Didn't work out.
They checked that shit.
Yeah, man. But I got my T-shirt back. So either I would have gotten the book and I wouldn't have got my T-shirt back, or I got my T-shirt back and not the book. But it was about Buddhism, and one of the sentences says the one who considers himself wise is actually the stupid person, and the one who considers himself stupid will be the wise person
because they will learn more.
Hashtag always a student. Yeah. Hashtag shout out to Skeem Richards. Yeah. I think this is really what is important with being out there, meeting a lot of people. You meet a bunch of weird people, and you meet a bunch of people that will annoy you, that you enjoy, or some people that don't even play a certain role in your life, even if you just met them because you just met them on the bus or whatever it is. Always stay young, always stay foolish. Steve Jobs said it best. I think that is a very very wise saying, and I think that is basically what you just said. Stay open-minded and always try to advance.
Never stop learning. And I think back to what we kind of mentioned before, never stop putting yourself in situations where you feel uncomfortable. The only way to truly learn and grow is, at least in my belief, is to constantly do things you don't do.
Yeah, life begins at the end of your comfort zone.
Exactly. Agreed.
Yeah, and as cheesy but true as we get here towards the end of this podcast episode, where do you see yourself in 50 years? Are you
50 years?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be an old man, 87.
87.
Yeah, man. Imagine yourself as an 87-year-old person.
I hope I'm coherent still at 87. really banking on some modern technology.
No, but
the advances of medicine helping me out here.
Yeah, that is kind of the point of my question. 87-year-old, are you wearing a metal digitalized leg, or what's up with Justin Bratton in 50 years?
Will I just be a part of the cloud? Will my conscience be uploaded onto the...
As we all know, your body's just a meat vehicle, man. But where are you? I hate bringing it to this question. I often do that on the podcast, but it is a question that I love asking people, and this is why I will do this over and over again to all my different guests. But death is something that is a lot of people are afraid with. And I just heard today a podcast where somebody got asked the question, what is your biggest fear in life? And somebody said, it's to die. And I never understand why. If you truly lived your life the way you wanted to do, I don't know, man. Justin Bratton in 15 years, 87. Your reaction tells me you don't even believe that you're alive at age of 87.
Shoot, who knows, man? With the way I do a lot of things.
Justin Bratton, Transformers 112.
This body gets abused from work and play. So
let me put it this way: where would you like to go? Because there's so many places
honestly,
to go to.
So I mean, as far as like where I want to go from here, honestly, I'm a very fortunate individual, and at this stage of my life, I'm doing exactly what I want to do, and I just want to continue doing what I'm doing at a higher level.
Yeah.
Make better things. Do what I'm doing at a higher quality level. I mean, shoot, make more money doing it.
Yeah, don't be ashamed of money. Hashtag cryptocurrency.
And get to the point where more people are enjoying what I do, what I make. You know, I mean, that's my goal. And then obviously, you know, I think we all kind of want to develop a better understanding of ourselves and the world around us. I think that's a constant for me. And
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, right. Continue to do that. But yeah. But as far as, you know, just like more basic stuff, just getting better at what I'm doing now and doing the same thing. I'm already doing what I want to do. So that I've achieved, which I'm very fortunate and lucky to have been able to do that.
So main point is basically, would you say today, yes, I am happy, I could die tomorrow, and I would look back at my life and say, yes, I'm happy.
Totally.
Boom.
No regrets.
Boom. That's it. Totally accomplished. Where can we follow Justin Bratton on social media to see if he lives up to all these expectations that he puts on himself?
Going to be put in check. You can follow me on Instagram at Justin_Bratton. As well, I have a Facebook page, which you can find at Justin Bratton 6. My website, justinbratton.com. And then we've got, for those of you who live in Bangkok, I co-own a Mexican restaurant called Casa Azul.
El Mexicana.
Casa Azul is in Ari.
What?
For those of you, it's we have a chef from Mexico City, and I dare say we have the most authentic Mexican food in Southeast Asia.
What?
Period.
No.
Period. I'm saying that right now.
Boom.
Right now, there are over 3,000 Mexicans in Bangkok. I'm pretty confident they all frequent our restaurant.
Now I have to go there because I live close to Ari and I love Mexican food. Nice. I have this thing for beans. I don't know. I just love beans.
There's not as much beans in Mexican food as you would think.
Yeah? I always connect beans to Mexican food. What is complete beans. Mexican? Like first thing.
It's stuff that you wouldn't even imagine.
Tacos. No, I just imagine.
Obviously tacos. Yeah. Like our chef makes croquetas. That would blow your mind.
Sounds so awesome.
Blow your freaking mind.
Yeah?
Wings. Mexican wings. Best wings you've had in your life.
Oh, dude, I'm getting hungry as you speak. I'm like, no.
You don't even understand.
Yeah?
We make ice cream. We make Mexican ice cream.
Don't talk shit about ice cream. I have to say that right now.
Our horchata ice cream is the best ice cream you have ever put in your mouth.
You can talk shit about everything in life, everybody, but not ice cream. Ice cream is holy in my family. Yeah, if you tell me and write the information down on a piece of paper for me, I will put them down below in the description on YouTube. So if you're listening on iTunes or Podbean, where you can download all our audio episodes for free, audio only, but it is for free. So
free.
Yeah, exactly. Free stuff is good. And we are also only recording audio at the moment. Yeah, YouTube, you will find all the links to the Mexican restaurant, to your Instagram, to your Twitter. Somebody just broke something.
A lot of links.
Peanut is...
giving you 8 links,
yeah, she killed that one bottle of whiskey already tonight. And if you want to get no Peanut here at the Dreamcatcher Hostel Bar and Cafe and put some liquor in her princess cup, then, ow! Don't hit me. No, I'm just joking.
She's been sipping on shots of Sangsum.
She always does that. She always does that.
It's impressive. I don't know if I can sip Sangsum. That's hardcore.
I'm just joking, Peanut. You know that, right? You're the professional here.
Don't think I haven't noticed.
Justin, social media, we can follow you. Where can we see you next? What's up next for you?
Shoot. What can I talk about right now? We're...
Boom.
You know how it is in the media. You can't talk about things until you have the public media announcement. Okay. Even not even the confirmation. There has to be the release, the official release. Yeah. We do have a short film that has been going through the international short film circuit called Screaming at Stars. You can find that Facebook page and follow the short film's journey I think it's at Screaming at Stars on Facebook. There's a link. I'll put a link. We'll get the link to that. But yeah, we're currently making that into a feature, looking to get funding. So hopefully to start production on that in the middle of this year. That's my main focus right now. I'm actually in town right now writing that feature film with the director.
Busy man.
And then also we have myself, my co-host with Asia's Got Talent, Alan Wong, and I have started a YouTube channel called Onesie Chats, where we just talk to regional celebrities in onesies. It's interesting. We've got one episode up. We got the next 2 episodes coming up very soon. It's we're still kind of organizing the format of this show.
Well,
it's going to get better.
I love it already. We talked about it before, and the idea of that you are having a conversation / interview in a onesie, which is like a thing that you put on in order to go to bed. That's what you call a onesie for all the people who don't speak English. Learn to speak English. No, I'm just joking. Justin Bratton, movie projects, TV hosting, traveling, a busy man. I thank you so much for coming on the podcast, for making the time and having a couple of beers and share some of your most interesting stories.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Next time I come to Singapore and I bring the podcast to Singapore.
Done. Let's do it.
Boom. Justin Bratton, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. As I mentioned before, you can download all our episodes on Podbean, iTunes, Overcast, SoundCloud, wherever you want to go. You can find them for free audio download. If you want to follow us, then just Google Surrounded by Details podcast or Justin Bratton, depending on who you want to follow, which is a tricky question here. I don't want to put you on the spot.
I'm a fun guy.
Or you do both at the same time. Or if you don't have the time to Google Surrounded by Details, because it's a lot of letters, then just go on www.stevbonhage.com in order to find all the podcast episodes and some of the finest photography around. Maybe in Asia, maybe in even the world, maybe even the universe. Only you can judge me, because taste is different from person to person. Sunday evening, 9:40, 1.5 hours of podcasting with Justin Bratton. Any last words?
Hey guys, just keep it real, man. Keep it real.
Keep it real. And we are out.